Okay, I am really going to try with all my might to get this done in like 10 minutes. But anyway, these are the settings. I'm using crude here on a 5-1 chart, Ninzarenko. Here's the, it's dated 112 or, today. I've got group. These are my settings real quick. You can see them here. They're not going to default like this. So, and I don't have a template, so you're going to have to change them if you want to do what I've got with crude. And I'm tweaking it as we go. But I've changed the default, turn that off. I made that 5 a little smaller. Your audibles are your preference, whatever you want to do with those. I have these files down here for bullish and bearish. If you want those wave files, I could get them to you. They don't come automatically with Ninja. Background plots is probably, this is the main one here. So I've colors, you can do what you want, but 6, it's a positive 6, not a negative 6, positive 6. And then 4 is my zone height. And then I made it 20 for my length. This one really doesn't matter because I'm not plotting it right here. It's the higher time frame, so it doesn't really matter, but it's set for 40 as a default. But I am plotting the zones, obviously. The color, you can change this what you want. I've changed this to 40, so it's not so heavy, so I can kind of see through it. I don't want to see the wick through it. I'll change the defaults eventually when I get done. All the background EMAs, you can leave as standard. This should be off, the 3-minute. I'm not going to use it for crude. All your audibles, I think the only audible I might have on is the higher time frame too. I'm sorry, this is an audible, a plot. Group 6 is a plot. So the only thing I have on is group 2, which will show, if you see it here, well, when you see it, it'll show, and then you can turn them on if you want, doesn't matter. And then, now we get into group A. Now we get into the actual trade management portion of it. And so the entry trigger, you can see my other settings video for what they all mean and how they represent. But this is what I'm using right now. One contract. It's got an offset. It's got a target. It's got a stop. And then here's my auto trail business. I'll tweak this eventually, but that's kind of more for NASDAQ and not crude. And then more importantly here, these are 15 and 20. So cancel if an order gets placed and it goes away without getting it, depending on the offset, then it'll cancel itself at 15. If it goes through a box too far, it'll invalidate after 20 ticks, but might tweak that up a little bit. And then if you have it here for offset of 0, it's just going to get into a market order. So that's really, it won't even bother with these because you'll be there. You'll be in. So time is standard defaults. Audibles, we can talk about audibles later. Some big deal. There's just overrides. There's a little tweak you got to do. I'm using a synthetic 5-1. Now, it just so happens I'm on the 5-1, so I technically don't have to do that. But I've checked that, so it mandates a 5-1. So in the event you're on a different time frame chart, it's going to take these numbers on a 5-1. So even if you're looking at a minute chart, if you're on a minute chart or something like that, it's going to trip from the background using this chart. And then my little skew for later for sending numbers. We can go over that later, no big deal. And then enable and go. Okay, so I am going to fly. All right, so you can do it manually, as I said earlier. In earlier versions, you can go up and down. Of course, you got to turn it off. You can just tell it to go on the next bar up or the next bar down, whatever. But I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the auto mode. So I'm going to go here. And I'm just going to shut up and let this thing fly and see what happens. We got to fly faster than that.
Order submitted.
500.
Target filled. Bearish moving average cross. Order submitted. Target filled. Bullish moving average order submitted. Order canceled.
Now on that one, it didn't take because the box ran out. I have it set for 20 bars, and we could change it to go longer, but in any event, by the time it got in there and pulled back, it missed the box, so didn't get it.
Bullish moving average cross. Order submitted.
Or let me put on my status box here real quick. Boom.
Foolish moving target filled. Order submitted. Stop filled. Bearish moving average cross.
I'm going to go a little faster. Keep this video into a minimal time frame here. Let's go one more. These are all. This one is the spread between there. Remember I set it for 5, so that's right there. I won't take anything in 5. The volume sliver, the SR lines, support and resistance lines, and those are all on the web page. If you're interested in getting those, you just download them. They're free. The only thing that I have a ninja on here is VWAP right here, and then the shark teeth I have for the high and low of the day. But again, they don't have anything to do with that. And the only thing I've turned off is my reversal bars, only because I didn't want to. Yeah, right there. Those are the reversal bars. So we're going so fast, it's not going to matter. And the other thing I have off is the target zone, which I could certainly turn on here real quick. It'll if it gets in a certain, see the zone right there? If it gets in that little zone, then it's going to be real tight. And so I can make that bigger, smaller. You could do retracements. I think it's set for right now at 3 ticks of retracement. So just getting in that box, unless it goes all the way up. Any hint of a retracement, it'll say target. So that's that. But that's not incorporated in the strategy. Eventually they'll all kind of come in together. But right now we're still working with these resistance, and see right now, you see our turn red there, volume was low. It's got to be under, I have it set for 400, you could change it, but I have it set for 400. If it's under 400, don't take a trade. Well, that again, it's not worked in the strategy, but mentally it's, you know, eventually it might be.
Foolish moving average cross. Foolish moving.
See now right there, a little bit more, you're in your stat, you're safe. And you notice you didn't hit your target. Your target was right there. Now you would have hit your target, but didn't give it the opportunity. So in all fairness, I should probably turn it off because I'm trying to measure some numbers. MAE and MFEs.
Stop filled. Order submitted. Order submitted.
All right, I wonder if I can max this thing out here.
Stop filled. Bearish moving average. Foolish moving average cross. Bearish moving average cross. Foolish moving average cross. Bearish moving average cross.
It'll stay away from that because the spread has got to be 5. At least a spread of 5.
Moving average cross.
Otherwise, it's just chop. And that could be tweaked.
Order submitted.
Once we get the lucky number.
Order submitted.
And that's where the beta testers come from.
Stop filled. Foolish moving average. Bearish moving average.
There's that reversal. Remember the plot? There it is. So the group 2 higher time frame turned down, and that's why it's red, and that's why you're getting red now. And you'll continue getting, there'll be no blues until it turns right there, right here. And if there is a box, a zone that changes in mid zone, it'll stop the zone from plotting. It'll just instantly turn it off. So it won't be, even though we have it set for 20, I thought it was 20 is the length. If it changes direction, it'll just stop it. So one contract, and middle.
Orders submitted.
Okay, there we go. Now we're going down.
Orders
I did
submitted.
it again. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. Come on, one more time.
Target
There we
filled.
go. Now these moving averages, I could turn them off. I mean, right now they're not doing anything because I don't have them. I don't have them required, so they're not doing anything. You turn them off altogether. I like to see them. If you did check on the require orientation, then the small has to be above the large for longs and below the large for shorts. That's more for NASDAQ to slow it down. It's not really necessary in crude. And if you added the 3-minute in there, then it has to be the small, that large one right there, and then the 3-minute. Or if you change it to any other thing, you know, 1 minute or 5-minute, whatever it is, whatever that is, it's got to be the bigger one. That one I have turned off. But if you don't want to see these plotting, you would just have to turn it to transparent because there's not an on-off switch for them.
Bearish moving average cross. Orders submitted.
All right, well, I think I'm going to keep this down to a minimal. I'm at 11 minutes, so I think I'm going to call it here. And I'll finish this trade out, and that'll be it. There we go. All right. I'm calling it. Thanks. See you later. Bye.